大家来啊呜!
That sounds more like a tribal thing than a bird sound. Welcome to the Lao Jiaos podcast. This is where we bring you unfiltered and unapologetic take on the news, current affairs, and all the things people pretend to understand. I'm your host, Jin Yong, and with me is your resident Lao Jiao, Ten Yang. How are you doing?
Yeah, I am back after 2 or 3 weeks. Well, it's been CNY. Gambling this year has been shit. Kids don't gamble because you lose a lot of money.
You can feel that people are holding back because you don't want to make things too ugly. Then if the kids lose too much, they start, not feeling good. Then you feel like the whole atmosphere not very right like that. Do you have that kind of feeling when you gamble?
My family all chill one. Although the other day, my mom has two good friends, good auntie friends who've basically seen me and my sisters grow up. Yep. So my younger sister basically cleaned her out, I think almost $200.
What the for a CNY session.
My mom's good friend. She doesn't mind. But my sister was like, thank you for contributing to my wedding fund.
Oh, okay. Okay.
My sister's luck this year is
madness.
Very good.
Speaking about ridiculous news, have you saw this news about because the Winter Olympics is ongoing, they say they ran out of 10,000 condoms.
I think 10,000, 100,000.
Yes, 10,000 free condoms. They were completely depleted within 72 hours and had to be restocked.
The Olympians aren't competing out on the field. They are
competing off the field.
Competing off the field. So competing in the dorms. I mean, it is a long held Olympic tradition to always supply condoms.
Yeah.
Condoms in the Olympic dorms and the Olympic village.
Yeah.
I mean, after all, practice safe sex. Because, it's healthy. Let's not stay away from this topic. Practice safe sex. But to go through 10,000 condoms in 72 hours, either the Olympians are using it to blow up balloons or hammering it like rabbits.
I feel that I feel that 30%. Okay, I personally, I feel that 25% of it people keep as souvenir. 70% of it they really use because you go party and whatnot, and you put you put all these able-bodied men and women in the prime of their age and all looking so fit as fit AF in the same village or the same proximity. You tell them they don't fuck and give each other signals. I don't believe. Okay, but the 5%,
true.
The 5% I feel that athletes from the not so well-to-do countries, I feel that they collect and sell. Don't you find it very interesting that we have so many versions of Olympics, but we haven't had a really big sex scandal breakout, unwanted pregnancy kind of thing? I find that it's very interesting. We hear so many college things happening, but not in the Olympics, not from the Olympics.
Hey, they are just doing what various governments around the world do best, which is actively cover up. If you know, I know.
Like the Epstein files, the recent Epstein files.
Hey, let's not go there. The media I tell you, the amount of the dialogue the media has cut out from me over the past couple of episodes is quite
Let's
a lot.
Just say the percentage of your footage that gets left behind is much less compared to the rest. I recorded with Amos, it's 35-minute video. The final cut came out, I think, about 25, 26. Yours, I recorded 40, 45. Then we have less than 20-minute episodes before,
Yeah, because a lot of the shit I say gets left on the cutting room floor.
Last question before we move on. If the Olympic decided to do a reality show, or a reality TV show in the form of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, will you watch?
Fuck no.
Why? It will be fun.
Because have you seen any episodes of Keeping Up with the Kardashians?
No.
That shit is
useless.
Not even cancer, it's beyond cancer. Yeah. I took a public speaking class when I was in uni. A public speaking module when I was in uni. I was just racking my brains for ideas. Now that someone said, why not you do something that is people completely don't expect you to do? What did I decide to do it on? I did it on the Kardashians. I actually did a speech about the Kardashians.
Okay.
Yeah. I called it I just called them the Kardashian Jenner clan. Out of all the information out there about them, 75% of it is absolute trash. It's just tabloid fodder. 25% of it is actually usable information. And my topic was about why the Kardashian Jenner clan isn't just tabloid fodder, but they actually have business acumen.
Oh.
I have the video somewhere.
Interesting.
But yeah, and people are like, wow, okay, like never expected Ten Yang to actually speak about the Kardashians, that kind of things. Never again though, never again.
So I think we can move on to the segment of the week. I would like to ask Ten Yang first. My segment of the week this week will be on Marie Curie.
Marie Kondo, I know lah. Marie Curie, isn't it the scientist? The one who died of radiation poisoning.
Yes. I would like to share 3 interesting facts about her that I recently learned because I subscribe to this app called Paladin, where you play it's like a quiz game about people. So number 1, do you know that she remarried, and because of her remarriage, right, when she went and took her Nobel Prize for chemistry, it was the first time the Nobel committee wrote to her and said, we would actively encourage you not to come to the ceremony.
Why?
Because she married her dead husband's student, and then it created a very big uproar, and all the tabloids were saying that, wow, this one, she's not French, you couldn't回你的 Austria or wherever you come from and this lah. So she was labeled as a very, like a foreigner in the French.
A hussy, is it?
Yes, correct. She insisted on going, and she became the first woman to win 2 Nobel Prize in the same field, and as in both in science. Only 4 person have won Nobel Prize twice. So that's the second thing. Only 4 person have won the Nobel Prize twice, but she did it in the same category of science, one for physics and one for chemistry.
Well, she's basically every double sciences student's idol, basically.
Yeah. Okay, but she cheated. She cheated a bit in her first, because the first Nobel Prize was a joint Nobel Prize with her late husband. So as you said, she had radiation issues and poisoning and all this. Yeah, because her and her husband in their research, right, they did handle a lot of radiation stuff, right, with empty hands and like no equipment and whatnot. It's so bad that her handwritten notes, right, is stored somewhere that people say we cannot touch because the radiation is so serious that if anybody touch, you'll get radiation poisoning.
I'm not wrong, I think she's buried in a lead-lined coffin.
Correct, because she is dead radiation.
I think she's dead. I think all her notes and everything can't be touched at least for the next couple thousand years. I think some of those watches have that like radioactive substance to it that you can that will make it glow in the dark, right? But it doesn't harm us, lah.
Yeah.
I remember, I think during World War II, right, no one knew that shit was radioactive. So the women who were assembling all the devices with all these all these materials, they just lick it, just to moisten it and then put it in.
So now we know better.
Years later, all those women had like all sorts of ailments. Their teeth were falling out. The bones, everything was
correct. So the third thing about her is that, do you know that her 2 daughters were also Nobel Prize winners?
Runs in the family.
Yes. So her first daughter, called Irene Curie, actually was a chemist and won the Nobel Prize. Same thing, also on radioactivity and some things, but same thing, she also researched together with her husband. But Eve, which is her second daughter, won a Nobel Prize because of her humanitarian work. She worked for UNICEF. Yeah,
the French Mother Teresa, I guess.
Yes, okay. So the whole family together, the father, mother, the 2 daughters, they are known as the family that has the highest number of Nobel Prize, total 5 together. Amazing, right?
One for each day of the working week, with then enough your Saturday, Sunday got holiday for off Nobel.
Before we get into our episode, a word from our sponsor. This week's episode is brought to you by our friends at SGwatchhub, your one-stop platform for all things watches in Singapore. Whether you're buying, selling, or simply obsessed with timepieces, SGwatchhub connects you to sellers, retailers, and fellow collectors so you can find that perfect watch for your wrist.
And it's not just a marketplace. They also offer a full range of watch services, repairs and polishing, to strap replacements, protective films, watch winders, and even authentication. SGwatchhub also works with amazing brands like Humism, an independent design studio from Singapore that turns time into art.
Instead of traditional hands, Humism watches use laser-cut rotating discs to create mesmerizing kinetic patterns on the dial. You're not just reading time, you're experiencing it. One of their standout pieces is the design. part of Humanism's philosophies collection. Inspired by how we exist and experience time, the design forms a constantly shifting starburst pattern as the discs rotate.
And here's the exciting part. SGwatchhub and Humanism are partnering with the Chit Chatter for a special giveaway. If you'd love to get your hands on this beautiful piece, head over to our Instagram page and follow the instructions in our pin reel to take part. If you love watches as much as we do, check out SGwatchhub.sg and join the community. Big thank you to our friends at SGwatchhub, your one-stop platform for all things watches here in Singapore.
And now, we are back. Okay, so for our first news, 2 viral Chinese New Year videos actually sparked backlash over chaotic Lo-Hei celebrations. I think the first was about students at NTU were filmed aggressively tossing Yu Sheng during a hall event with food and plastic cups thrown across the room. The university said that it will counsel the students involved. Shortly after, property firm Property Lim Brothers went viral.
Brothers again! Woo!
Or a similarly chaotic office Lo-Hei celebration where staff were seen flinging Yu Sheng at one another during a company event. Netizens criticized both incidents, calling them wasteful and embarrassing. So, Tan Yang, do you just think that, it's for fun or is it actually embarrassing to watch? Because I've watched the Yala But podcast people were saying that actually this was fun this was part of Lo-Hei, and then we should take them a bit more lighter But what was your take on this?
Cost of living is already going up. Property Lim Brothers, they want to go and throw their own food. Let them be. They are adults. They want to go and waste food. Fuck them lah. They want to be more on the news. Also, fuck them lah. As if I think at this point to them, all publicity is good publicity, be it good or bad lah. So let them go and rot in their own hole. Whereas for NTU, I believe that money comes from the school. It's actually budgeted, from school fees and whatever not. Some people pay themselves, other people parents pay for them. Either or, your school, you should not be wasting food because these are all allocated resources.
Yeah.
Remember the other day we talked about that Malaysian influencer who gave the homeless person the chicken bones with the rice.
Yeah.
It's kind of hamka behavior.
Yeah.
Like really same vein basically. You are just they knew that they were going to film it. They knew they were going to post it online, and yet they still did it.
Yeah.
It was deliberate lah.
So this was my problem with them. Lo-Hei food fly out of the plate, right? That one is bo pian one because so many people, so many pairs of chopstick. But it's quite obvious in the videos, right? You can see people taking food and throwing each other. You can see people taking plates and throwing each other. I think that is really out of order lah. Like the intention is there. What are you trying to do, right?
It is like I said it's deliberate lah.
Correct.
Yes, when you do Lo-Hei, a bit will
correct.
Inevitably does fly around the place.
Correct.
But like maybe a little bit lands on the floor. Yeah. But what they were doing was like full on food fight.
Yeah, it's quite obvious. You can see in the video, people were throwing plates, people were throwing some of the food. NTU students, you film this, right? Why are you so dumb to post it online when you know that it's wrong? Right? And
no, that's the problem. That's the problem. The younger generation nowadays.
It's wrong.
Like our generation for the record, see, you're millennials. I'm not saying that we weren't stupid as well.
Yes.
We were pretty stupid.
Yes.
I did my fair share
stuff as well. Yeah.
Yeah, we did our fair share of stupid things. Yeah. But and we did film it.
Yeah.
But
we don't post.
We are not stupid enough to post it online.
Yes, exactly.
We may film ourselves, but we don't post that shit online. That's the difference between us and the Gen Z and the Gen Alpha kids. Like seriously, why are you incriminating yourselves?
And then what I cannot even understand even further is that, okay, let's say NTU students, you're really young, dumb, heat of the moment, you think this is fun. Okay, I still think that is youth. Okay, maybe the synapse here not fully developed. Okay, I find.
You mean the stupidity of you?
Yes.
Okay, go on.
Okay, but Property Lim Brothers, right? You have this incident happen a week before yours. Social media guy or the person taking the video, you stupid enough to film the same thing, the same shit happened, and you post it online, expecting it not to go viral when your company was in the news just a few weeks ago. This one, I really cannot understand. It already happened from NTU a week ago, and then you all see it happen, you see the thing being scolded online, and you all still post it, expecting it not to happen. Do you?
I think Property Lim Brothers was looking at the NTU video, was like, hey, hold my beer, I can do better.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, when we say no publicity is bad publicity, we were not meaning this. This one is like, you think you're in the trenches, like in terms of publicity or in terms of that kind of like your name, you think your name is in the dirt now? Now you're going into like hell level already.
Like groups of bank robbers now. But then so happens one or two members of their crew it's like some Gen Z, Gen Alpha kid. So after they hit like a bank or like a jewelry store,
then it's like, hey, you guys,
yeah, it's like, hey guys, just lay low of all this loot, just lay low. Then the Gen Alpha, hey, that kind of thing. They said robbing the jewelry store right now. Hey, if it no pictures, if it didn't happen, no pictures, that kind of thing. And I just post it online.
Of all things I will go to jail for or I'll get caught for, this is not the way I want to get caught. I think it's safe to say that.
Can you imagine the other fella in jail is like, hey, so bro, I heard you robbed the bank.
Yeah.
How did you get caught? I was like,
some idiot couldn't stop taking photos.
The Gen Z, Gen Alpha kid on my team, they went to post about the robbery online.
I don't understand. Y'all can film, y'all can take photos, but y'all must post. And then if you see something already go wrong, why are you still doing it a week later? Dumb. Okay.
You can reason with logic, but you can't cure stupidity.
Exactly. Moving on to the second piece of news. A fire broke out at Century Bakkwa outlet just 2 days before Chinese New Year, the peak season. And despite the setback, the team actually managed to fulfill all orders and the owner rewarded staff with a bonus equivalent to 2 months' salary, possibly 3 depending on profits. Now, before I ask Ten Yang about his opinion about this, right, I want to also add into the context that actually the lady boss of this Century Bakkwa, right, actually said that this outlet that burned, right, took longer to put out the fire because there was so many charcoal. They actually brought in more charcoal in preparation.
Yeah, they actually brought in more charcoal.
So it actually burned even worse. And she also said that if you want to refund, I'm totally fine. She said, reach out, we will give you the full refund if you cannot wait the one or 2 days for the Bakkwa.
First of all, the initial interview she had at the shop that burned down, she was in this black cheongsam. I must say, good fashion choice. She's putting out a statement like this kind of her clothing choice comes across as very confident. It's like, I'm in charge. It's like, I wouldn't say I completely know what I'm doing, but at the same time, I want to show that I know what I'm doing. So at least put forward like a show of confidence to her partners, her suppliers, her big customers, so on and so forth. And I think in business that is very important. And the fact that they had a very good recovery for all this.
Yes,
I believe they shifted production to other shops as well.
Yes,
because
correct.
I mean, being SCDF, once the fire is out, they have to do the investigations. Then they have to bring BCA in to certify that the shop is, the building is still safe to
operate
before rectification works can actually commence. So it takes time, especially with public holiday, half the country being closed, so on and so forth. I mean, props to the lady boss. She handled it with aplomb. She handled it with very calm confidence, and I think it's great. And the fact that they still managed to fulfill all their orders, props to you, man. I won't say Century Bakkwa is on the same as big as the big guys like I say Lim Shi Guan, Fragrance, Bi Cheng Hyang. I think I would say they are a smaller operation, right? Still, and then rewarding her staff with 2 to 3 months salary as a bonus for sticking it out. I mean, this whole thing could have been a lot worse.
Loss of manpower, loss of rent, this kind of thing.
Everything. So and then plus given the current climate of food F&B businesses in Singapore is not good. And then Bakkwa places like Chinese New Year is the one season of the year you can 趁机机会 to go and make as much profit as you can. This is basically your golden goose season. So for something like that to happen, but they still recover very well. I think really props to them and then maybe we should support them by getting and being more Bakkwa from them next year.
You point out something very subtle which I didn't notice, which was that in her interview she was wearing a black cheongsam. I think it's the right choice because you don't want to wear red, right? Because I mean your shop just burned down. So, but the cheongsam choice is still this is the New Year part, but I'm not wearing the festive color. So I think it's the right clothing choice. What really impressed me was that there was no sense of panic. There was no because so many owners in the immediate after effect of the shop being burned down, right? They always say that, wow, this is a catastrophe kind of thing, and people feel sorry for you, right? But instead, right, I didn't feel sorry for her. I just felt that she got this everything covered. She knows what she's going to do next. She said, oh, you want to refund? I can refund, but don't worry, just give me 1 or 2 more days. The Bakkwa orders will be fulfilled. I'm like, that's actually reasonable. I was expecting if you tell me 1 week delay or 3 days, 4 days, I would have felt that it's reasonable, but this is 1-2 days. I really feel that it's peak reasonable. It's peak season.
Wait, what? Dude, 1-2 days on a regular day is also
it's not easy.
It's good.
It's good,
1-2 days during peak CNY season.
So I
Yeah.
was very, very impressed by how she handled it. And if you look at her social media, she knows how to carry herself. She has done interviews. She knows how to speak, right? But I think now we can add crisis management to her list of skills, lah. And she should prove that she's not just a pretty face, lah. She knows how to manage. She knows how to, hold the reins to the business, lah. It's not easy, lah.
I like to ask actually if she actually has PR training herself, or does she have a PR person or PR team behind her?
Yes.
Because
so
this kind of thing is not easy to
So
figure out.
I don't know whether our producer did this intentionally, but you put first news as like horrible PR, like case study that what you shouldn't do, to like how you should manage crisis as the second. I really feel that this is like the case study of what not to do and what to do. After that part, I really think it's time to take a break.
And we're going to take a quick break in the podcast to thank our friends at CityMusic, one of Singapore's true pioneer in the music space. CityMusic has long been known as a go-to destination for musical instruments, but they've also been making big headway in audio and video equipment, especially for creators and podcasters. From guitars and pianos to audio interfaces, microphones, and even video recording equipment, CityMusic is true one-stop shop for everything music and content creation related, with options for every budget.
In fact, the audio you're hearing right now is recorded using the Zoom ZD-M1 mic, an amazing broadcast-style microphone that delivers professional quality sound on par with other big-name podcast mics, but at nearly half the price. It's proof that you don't have to overspend to sound great. A huge thank you to our friends at CityMusic, not just for this awesome giveaway, but for being a pioneer in the music space and for making sure creators, musicians, and podcasters always have the right equipment for whatever budget and setup they want. CityMusic, powering your sound, your music, and your content.
And the third news are also about social media and PR, but this one is a big question mark, okay, which is our former Speaker of the Parliament, Mr. Chuan Jin, has deleted his Instagram account. He stated that it was accidentally removed, okay, and he described the loss as a significant because it contained over a decade of memories from his time in public service, and he was once widely seen as a rising political figure before his personal conduct scandal led to his resignation, which significantly altered his political trajectory. I would like to ask Ten Yang, first of all, before we even speak about anything, do you believe it was intentional delete, or do you believe that, my hand slipped and it was a very accidental delete?
I think someone who was handling his shit may have accidentally deleted it.
I subscribe to this social media it was So Rui-yong, the marathon runner So Rui-yong. Okay, he posted a post saying that to delete our account in Instagram, you have to go to settings, press this. There was at least 5 or 6, 7 steps, significant steps you have to take before you can permanently delete. I, for one, don't believe this was an accidental delete.
Yeah.
Okay. So I believe, like what you say, official statement can be, someone that managed it, miscomm or what, decided to delete or whatever. So now the whole Instagram account is gone. Why do you think that this accidental deletion come about when, he was actually effectively already out of the public eye and out of everything already?
There'll always be some people who have a hard on to just just cause trouble for all these public figures. He could have been drunk when he did it, accidentally go and delete, or sleep scrolling or whatever the nonsense lah. I mean, okay, I'm not saying that he does not have a point. Yeah, there's like 5 to 6, 7 steps to 5 to 7 steps that you must deliberately go and take to delete your account. But I think Chuan Jin, maybe, okay, I want to give him the benefit of the doubt, but he could have done it. I don't doubt he did it himself, but maybe under the influence of alcohol or stress or sleep scrolling. 2, someone who has it out for him deleted his Instagram by mistake. Or 3, he actually did it himself and then he was like, oops, sorry, that kind of thing. So like you said, official statement is one thing, what really happened is another thing.
See this as like he's trying to make a comeback in whatever he's doing. He's still well regarded in certain fields. So the fact that his Instagram was deleted, I feel that it means that he wants to make a comeback in a related field or sector, or in a related advisory role or whatnot. And probably one of the 条件 that they give him to come back is that you have to delete your Instagram account. But do you think that in Singapore, like once this kind of thing happen to a political figure, that their political career is like over or permanently like defined, like they can't make a comeback, this kind of thing?
Hard. And honestly, I don't think the political parties would want them to come back. people may forgive, but more people don't forget. Singaporeans, we are a really petty bunch. So, I
would say, I would say if this happened 30 years ago, there was still a good chance of it because social media not so outpouring, and then I feel that people were not so on social media. But I think nowadays, especially with the voters count getting younger and younger, the authorities wouldn't be open to such a person with with such a record coming back. You just have to look at the Mr. Ng, the Secretary General of NTUC. During the election period, suddenly people just burst out things about him. Wow, you see how it affected, and then he just suddenly step out and say, "Oh, I will not be a cabinet minister. I've decided I want to serve my people for my Jalan Kayu with my whole heart. I won't be a internal cabinet minister anymore." I'm like, that was the first time I'm legitly genuinely shocked that okay, so this kind of Ming Sen now matters so much to a political person. I try to be nice, but I always feel a gratification when I see people's history come back and bite them.
Sometimes it's deserving lah. Sometimes they say everybody deserves a second chance but does everybody really deserve a second chance? I don't know lah. Just like I said, whole other can of worms. I don't want to get into that situation.
Okay, so before we end, let us just do the Alamak meter again. I would just like Tenyang to rate these 3 news, smart, dumb, or just plain Alamak. Okay, so the first news was a man was arrested in Ang Mo Kio after walking around fully naked in public. He could be seen out and about while holding a pair of shorts in his hand, and he was arrested.
And that just reminds me of the other one now, where was it in Balestier? The guy who had a motorcycle accident after that stripped naked.
Yes.
And then I was just like, and then my reaction was just like, why?
I think this is just plain Alamak. Very simple.
Police have when police arrest people like this, yes, it will be public nudity, and then there's a section in the law called Section 7 MHA, Mental Health Act. Yeah. So usually, more often than not, these people are arrested under Section 7 Mental Health Act, and they are just driven straight to IMH.
That was our first news, plain Alamak. The second was Pull & Bear is closing its final Singapore outlet as part of retail restructuring, and they are actually a subsidiary owned by Inditex, which is widely regarded as the world's largest fast fashion retailer, and they oversee Zara, Massimo Dutti, Bershka, and Stradivarius. So how would you rate this news, Tenyang?
Stradivarius also no longer in Singapore, right? Are they still in Singapore? To be honest, I think in Asia, at least Southeast Asia, Uniqlo is king lah. Uniqlo is king. You can't really fight Uniqlo. Plus Uniqlo, I dare say the quality is a lot better, even though it's fast fashion. Zara and Pull & Bear and Stradivarius, I find it even Mango or Cotton On. Cotton On, the quality is thorough.
Yeah, I think we can just play Alamak. Our last news, which is that a young man was actually videoed calmly cleaning up, helping a senior clean up after this senior vomited on the MRT along the northeast line.
Good lah. It's nice. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice. Unfortunately, you won't see me doing that because I am that asshole who will not give up my seats for older people on the trains.
All right. That was our Lao Jiaos podcast. If you enjoyed the episode, please remember to like and subscribe. We have an episode that comes out every Friday, but if you have the football, we have football every Wednesday. And the Kopi Bro Show, where we interview fun and amazing guests from around Singapore every Monday. Now, we don't always talk cock,
but sometimes we do, with spicy opinions like mine too.
Ow, ow, ow.